What's up, guys? My name is Danny Anime, and it has been a while, but let's get to this Tokyo Ghoul re-analysis. Chapter starts off, and we have kind of the info from what we got last chapter, and the whole revelation with Eto revealing herself as a ghoul, and the whole world kind of just shocked about it, having all these viral videos go out. And also seeing Dr. Orga, who we saw in the very beginning of Tokyo Ghoul itself, he had no comment on that, making me think, wow, he got kind of wrecked because he couldn't see that one of the most famous authors in Japan was a ghoul, and it was right in front of his face. It degrades him and his reliability due to the fact that I guess he can't tell that a ghoul is right in front of his face. Now, I love the panel at the end of the first page where this is like Eto is trolling, and obviously with that ghoul eye, she's obviously a ghoul, and later in the chapter they're talking about how possibly if it is true that she is a ghoul, then she will be put in Coachella, but if she has the ghoul eye, then isn't she a ghoul? Now, we also get a reference about her book and the God of Thunder and some other stuff about this being the reference to the One-Eyed King. And for once, actually, Ishida puts it right in front of our faces and tells us this is a reference to ghouls. Now, ghouls and humans could possibly get along or lead into some revolution where the ghouls can get along with the humans. Now, on that, it talks about the One-Eyed King. Now, I did get a comment on a couple of videos ago where it was talking about there are 3 participants to be the One-Eyed King, and this is actually a race to become the king. And those 3 participants were Furuta, Kaneki, and Arima. Now, I see that possibly happening just because Furuta is kind of betraying. He's betrayed both sides. Kaneki has been on both sides, and we don't really know what's up with Arima himself. They all seem like characters who could go to either side. Arima seems very strong to the CCG, but at the end of this chapter, seeing him attack Sachi, I really don't know what to think. And on that note, I do want to add that I'm guessing there is some relationship between the ghouls and the humans that we just didn't know about, that the CCG has kept hidden, and the whole stuff with V being these law abiders in the secret, who are really the ones who keep the balance between the ghouls and humans, so they can keep this hatred between each other, which is so much analysis that I really can't get some of it. I don't understand all of it. You're probably gonna need to watch a chibi video for that, but in my review, I'm just gonna kind of break it down to the best of my ability. What I'm saying is that why is it the ghouls and humans work together if they have always hated each other, and why is V working with the CCG? Did Arima arrange this? Is Arima the one to set this up? What is their whole connection to each other? How did V work with the CCG? And obviously, what I think from most of these chapters, and seeing that V was talking with Arima is probably in association with V, he is in V, or associated with V itself. But the whole thing is very confusing, and hopefully Ishida gives us an explanation on that and how this relationship came to build, and why they want to have a relationship where the ghouls and humans hate each other. And we also have the Rue Island arc coming in fast. A lot of people have been talking about a Rescue Hinami arc, and personally, I don't see that coming anytime soon, or why that would happen. I feel like the relevance to the story currently is with Rue Island, and the raid on Rue Island reminds me of the Onteku raid. That's my opinion. And could this be leading into the final arc of Tokyo Ghoul Re? Personally, I don't want to see it end, and I mean, seeing that they're going after this raid to get rid of Aogiri Tree, and seeing that the antagonist for most of the series has really been Aogiri Tree, and taking them out, what will happen? This is something I've really been thinking about for a long time reading some of these Tokyo Ghoul chapters, is Yuri kind of homosexual? Did he have some sort of feelings for Shizaru? Because he started painting afterwards, which he hasn't done previously, and Ishida's not just going to include him painting for no reason. He's the only one who really let out this big cry, which is bawling. Yes, the other characters were extremely upset, but he was just bawling for him, and Yuri's the one who brought up that they must save Shizaru's sister, and the others are just there sitting quietly, and gets me thinking he's the one who really had a stronger connection with them. Maybe it's just a rivalry, or maybe it's just like I was saying, it could be some sort of homosexual relationship going on there. And I think that's something Ishida wants to reference covering most topics on almost everything, and that things that are wrong in our world and comparing them in his novel of Tokyo Ghoul, like with the ghouls and humans and race, and the whole thing possibly with Yuri being homosexual. I don't know, just throwing out a little bit of analysis for you guys to think about. Now, we also find out that Eto's birth was just for Yoshimura's wife to get close to V, and this whole thing was set up the entire time, saying that Eto's life in reality was really just a tragedy, and she never really had loving parents because Yoshimura, he wanted to live, make a new life for himself, not be a part of V, get out of there, and his mom was just there to investigate V. Interesting this chapter that we found out that the RC gates negate those members of V, and in reality, I think we all didn't realize what happened, and if you guys look back into Tokyo Ghoul, the actual Tokyo Ghoul chapter 20, you can see that Kaneki passed through these things called RC gates, which can detect high RC rates, which most ghouls have, and seeing that they had these high RC rates, I mean, it was kind of surprising to find out that Kaneki made it through, and I think we all mostly suspected that it was just because he was a half ghoul, and just being a half ghoul, I guess that was a good explanation. Into the chapter, and we find stuff out on Rize, and I think this was needed just because we all needed some information on Rize, and there was some connection with Sachi, and Sachi raised her, and what really got me interested in this chapter really is that last panel, and Sachi is supposed to be connected with V. He got out of Coachella because he is connected with V, and V let him out, and with Sachi and Yoshimura was that Yoshimura was still in V, and I guess had some relationship with V. He got him out because he was in V, and because Sachi became part of Aogiri, that means he had to watch over Eto, but in return, Yoshimura had to watch over Rize. The most savage part of this chapter was Torso ripping off Mutsuki's legs and scarring Danny Anime for life. Oh my god. Did you see it? He just ripped her legs off. This is worse than what Jason did. In that moment when Ishida Sensei goes and does another Jason incident, he will have his own evolution to get a stronger Kagune eventually, possibly after being tortured by Torso, or maybe she might die, which would be very depressing to see another one of the Qs die. Alright, now that last panel, why is Arima attacking Sachi? Anyways, this is gonna be an epic fight, because we know Sachi is just a boss with his martial arts and being a ghoul on top of that, and Arima being the god destructor and killer of all ghouls. I mean, this is going to be an epic fight, and hopefully this is a very epic action-heavy chapter next week. Anyways, guys, make sure to like, comment, and click that subscribe button. Also, if I missed something, make sure to tell me, and peace out, guys.